engaged with several things. Had to get a fix on my vehicle's muffler. Had to clean up. There was a bunch of trash around some of the areas where I live. More than normal, mainly caused by who litters, right? It's people who are either homeless people, so they're crazy, so they don't really, they're homeless, like, under the influence, so they're not really have the cognizance to be like, hey, I don't want to litter because it'll offend someone else. They're completely consumed by their limited sensory experience, especially when it's related to just that next pursuit of the next drug. But guess what? That's how a lot of people live in another way. They live that same story out in their next pursuit of their next orgasm. And guess what? Both men and women have the tools, also known as the toys, to be responsible for their sexuality. And this comes in the form of, specifically, I recommend for the gentlemen, there's a line of toys. It's the Doc Johnson Strokers, and they don't have any battery features or anything. They are called the Main Squeeze line, so you can look that up. And on the surface, it might seem funny or even awkward that I might mention these, and just the same women. There's more toys out there for women, because women kind of like that vibration, the stimulation of the clitoris and everything, and so there's other options out there, and of course dildos as well. Dildos is a woman shouldn't wait for a man to have penetrative intercourse. She should be able to be having sex with herself, just like that's what men should be doing. And so from that point of sustainable enjoyment, because you either use it or lose it, number one, and number two, if you aren't connecting with your something that you can do sustainably, a pleasure, then, and if you don't do that, then the mind is run by that second chakra. Your whole body operates off of that appetite of wanting to seek that out. Now, for men, it may be all the time, and all their decisions may be influenced by trying to seek that woman, and that's a bad place to be, because that gives power to women, and women operate better when they're under the authority and influence of a good man, a husband and a father. And that's because women are more emotional and do better in the feminine role play. And it's not that they can't play other roles in society, more masculine responsibility roles, but women deserve to be taken care of. And I think that some of the more macho lesbian women would agree with me that they want to take care of their woman. They want her to feel taken care of and be able to be in her playful feminine and be making meals at home. By the way, yeah, it's like, why would you, as the either man or the playing the man's role in a lesbian relationship, why would you want somebody else to be making your food? It should be your certain things are personal. Food, fresh food, and that's kind of what keeps us together. Food kind of defines us, and that's what I want this to be about today. this discussion, I want it to be about experimentation, willingness to experiment and cons- consider going around social norms, and 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 at least experiment, and like whether you're going to experiment with not labeling people your mother and father, try labeling them on a first name basis. If you share the same values as them, try labeling as a brother or sister in a spiritual sense, and update the way that you expect from them and your roles that you play for each other. Let it be a role of not authority or expectation, but a role of equality and not really need, you can't. It's easier to love someone or experience love when you're not expecting them to meet your financial or emotional needs, but rather you can learn from each other and learn from each other's needs. And you can experiment also by trying different vegan diets. Whatever it is, I talk about a lot of stuff. Maybe experiment with having sex with yourself. You have to do that if you want to have the most out of life and self-control, and not letting that desire take a leading. It's your vehicle. If you let desire run your life, it's you're in it. It has control over you. And so, another thing is the shield heart. It just try. You see how I have it over my heart. This is a patch. I have these available on the shieldheart.org website. You can reach me, and so for example, like, how do you convince somebody to consider some of the things that I do? Well, you ask them to experiment. Are you willing to at least try something? Because it doesn't cost anything. Well, like the sex toys might cost $50 or something, but that's, it's kind of already accepted that people can use sex toys, and both men and women, and or naming somebody your equal, or instead of mother or father. And this goes for a brother too. If, like, for example, or a sister, if somebody just doesn't have the same values as you, for you to label them brother or sister, it creates a cognitive dissonance loop in your brain, where you're saying in your brain that you love someone and that they're important to you, but they don't share the same values as you. You see, genetic similarity, blood relation, is not as special as choosing by choice to be with someone, to be committed to them in your life, be it your spouse or be it your spiritual family, quote unquote. And so let's go with that. Let's go with that experimentation, and that's the experimentation part of what I wanted to share. Now I want to talk about. So in other words, it's a method of convincing somebody to do something that's going to be, at least you think, beneficial for them. It's you ask them to experiment, and it's like, why would they say no? And even if they say no, say that they should try to experiment in general in their life, with things that, especially if, like, the only reason that I, for example, try to motivate people to be vegan, to be more about self-intimacy and self-control is because it creates a world that I want to live in. I want to live in a world where people have more stable lives and healthy lives and lives filled with favorable karma from eliminating the practices of unnecessarily harming animals yeah. And so now I want to get into this identity idea. So it's kind of this theory. Like I like to go to a gym, and that's where I kind of have fun and I see people, and I realized that other people like to go out and say dance or drink alcohol, uh, and I'm not saying that people don't have different layers of experience where they do different things in their life. I'm saying that the primary source of fun or their their identity, like do they identify as somebody who goes to a gym, or do they identify, hey DJ, do they identify as somebody who is a party goer, or do they identify as perhaps somebody who owns a certain object, like a certain vehicle, or maybe they're identifying with being of a certain country, so they like to have the flag uh, of that country, and they say, yeah, I'm from here, and you know these other people aren't. So the curiosity is what's your core identity? It should comprise of at least three things, I would say. And for some people, it's working hard, and it should be three lifestyle preferences and then three values. And these you should know off the top of your head. You should be able to recite them to anyone and remind yourself of them over the course of time. So, for example, my three values are, well, values are it's kind of hard to say, because you could say, is it kindness versus like willingness to say no, and industriousness? Like maybe those could be values that might clash. Like, is it friendly to say no? Is it honest? Is it honest to if you're being kind, can you be completely honest and blunt with someone, and like just tell them the truth? And so maybe that's a little more ambiguous. I think when I say values, I'm really talking about lifestyle preferences. So when I say values, I'm more saying like what you value. So for example, I value veganism. I value excuse me. I value marriage. I value not labeling people of a higher authority. And then the counteracting of what you don't value is also relevant. So maybe that's a better kind of determining factor, because I think those values allow people with different natural personalities to get along. So for example, some people may be naturally predisposed to be more like A-type personality, like work, get stuff done, no BS, not being too playful or humorous. And then you might ask, well, does your spouse have to have those qualities or be the opposite of those qualities? like complementary, or this, or would they work if they're both the same? Obviously, there are some who are more masculine, which I think it makes sense because men are genetically predisposed to be more masculine and have that testosterone drive to, that's why they think that it's because of sexism that there's less like women CEOs and women like executives, but it's really because it's more so men that are willing to handle working, like 50 hours a week and up, and this is about like the average person. I am happy that there are men and women in society who are playing roles that they want to play, like maybe a masculine woman who's in a management executive, and then her husband maybe is a stay-at-home husband for their two growing kids. Like I'm glad that there are those options out there, and it also allows for a critical thing, which is if a woman doesn't see, in a perfect world, a woman likes her father and her kind of clings to her father until she gets married, and it allows her to be feminine. It allows her father to prepare herself for marriage, keep her a virgin, and that's good because it keeps men virgin as well. When all the women are kept virgins, obviously the men have to be virgin, right? But thing is the freedom that women have, and hopefully they'll use it well. Hopefully they'll choose to cling to their father until marriage. But guess what? If their father's either a bad father, or it's like a problem. There's some type of problem. The woman can go and work and build gainful competency and skills. So back to the identity issue. When people say, when people are like committed to something, a lifestyle value, like I always go on trips, for example. Like the problem is the trips that they might go on, and then the people that inevitably are also like going on trips. And so it's kind of like maybe rich people doing certain things. And let's say a rich person's identity's number one thing is their religion, like going to connecting with people that they are, religious with, like every week. And that maybe is their top identity, maybe. I think that that's more important because that goes beyond, like, if they can afford to do certain things, because the problem with, even if you have money, it's like, if you're going out, it's like, the other people that can afford to do those things, do they have the same values as you in terms of like beliefs, and like, do they prefer to eat the same food, or if they can afford a certain type of luxury items, experiences, even like going to shows or something, stuff that costs maybe $50 a ticket and more. It's like, just because you can go to that, will the people there that you're spending your valuable time with, it's like, this is kind of going, I'm circling around the idea of, it's not about how fun and what you're doing, but it's about who you're doing it with. Like, some stuff is cheap or free. Like, for example, you might go on a run with some friends who have the same values, or exercise with them. Or you might have an invitation to go on a luxury yacht party, but the people that go to that, they might be, say, drinking alcohol, and you don't like to drink alcohol, or maybe they're eating meat and you don't like to eat meat, or maybe they're being promiscuous, and even though you're okay with, eating meat and drinking some alcohol, you don't like it when people are intimate prior to marriage, so there's like layers to this stuff. So this is what I mean by identity. And I want people to really think about their identity. Think about what they identify with, who they identify as. Do they identify as, oh, there goes the the person with a new Tesla car, or do they want to as the person who is like dressed a certain way, or do they want to go by as, oh, there's the person who works hard and provides jobs for people, or there's the person who is of the same religion as me. Like the paradox of where people only seduce people they don't care about. Like, for example, when people say, they like they okay, I might have lost my train of thought there. But in the comments, was there anything that I said that really caught your attention? Maybe I can elaborate on that. Whomever is online and watching, and like maybe you can throw out a problem that you're experiencing that I might have already experienced or have done research on. I can get you an answer right now. Like I think it would be disingenuous of me to just say, like, read this certain book or do something when I have another answer that I think might be more powerful. Like, for example, a lot of like the medical and even the whatever systems are influenced by like big pharma. Like a lot of those problems are solved by exercise. DJ, that is also very relevant. Okay, so, and I've actually been doing a lot of light work recently, and I think it's helped. Okay, what light work does is it helps, in my experience, I'm telling you guys, that's why I'm asking you to experiment. That's what I started off with on this live show. When you do light work, okay, what you do is you get some type of a stone. Anybody can get a stone for a couple of dollars, a little gemstone like crystal, and you kind of work it in your hands, and then with the other hand you hold your hand up like this. You imagine a bright light going out of it, laser beam. You can shoot it as far as you want. Come on, Unlimited. My hat says Shield Heart, so I'm hoping that is indicative of my bigger picture thinking. And okay, you're kidding. And I have this funny thing about racists. Is that like when you see a woman of another ethnicity, how can you be racist? You know what I mean? Like that's even if you're racist, like we're human beings. We find attraction in whatever gender we're attracted to. So okay, so the white light, it's several things. It's an advanced form of prayer, because most prayers go something like this: oh, dear God, I'm feeling bad, please help me out with this. Now, what modern preachers and pastors are doing is they're actually using the power of words instead of saying, "Dear God, please help us do this." They're actually acting like uh, the they're channeling that God or universal energy, and they're saying you will hear pastors saying stuff like, you know, darkness remove itself from this. Gain Labs, let me touch on that. Okay. Okay, so most people out so let me finish with the pastor thing. So most pastors are saying, I pray love upon you guys, and then people go with that. They pay them money to do that. So it's like a motivational speaker, but the problem is it's a false premise, because a main theme of Christianity is homophobia. And if you're not homophobic, then you can't claim to be a Christian, because it's it's an inaccurate portrayal of your beliefs and preferences. And that's another one I want you guys to remember: preferences. Talk about talk about things in terms of, oh, I prefer, if you really prefer Jesus, or you want, Jesus to save you and, help you live a longer life. By the way, all things that we're working on together as humans to do. Why would you want someone to come from another place and with and magically solve things? All right, Gain, listen. It's Christians. What do they say? They say negative things about homosexuals. They say that it's implied that the will of the Father God is the same as the Son. And what did he do? He destroyed the whole city of homosexuals. So, executed them all. So, here's the thing. Let me just let's get some bigger picture thinking here. Instead of me just trying to attack, I'm gonna say, what do I align with Christians on? Okay. No, I'm trying to work on what you're saying, Labs. When people hear, oh, that person's a Christian, or oh, they're a Muslim, it offers some reassurance that that person is going to be respectful and is not going to seduce them, is not going to seduce their sisters or daughters. Okay, that's what it hints at. It's like, oh, if I'm and especially if you're Orthodox, they practice healthy separations of the genders. They know that there's that sexual desire there, and instead of pretending it's not there, they create healthy boundaries of the genders, and that's a way of celebrating that we are human, and that we can be conscious of these things and not let them control our lives, but yet channel them into healthy marriages that can create healthy families, that can create that teach children what the practices of love and having a functional life is, and then that transforms into a society that's sustainable. So back to the light work. So I visualize the light work. I visualize key persons in authority positions in business and industry and in government, and I imagine them like whoever's in the White House or main people. I imagine brilliant white light shining surrounding them, because guess what? Guess who, like, you can say that, oh, the Illuminati are trying to run the world, or the bad guys, or but the reality is, it's that if there are these interdimensional dark forces of whatever they may be, who like to feed off of negative energy, suffering, then we need to protect people from them by giving them shields of light. And so you can imagine this. You can imagine that. Like I'm imagining right now, a brilliant beam of light shining to you. I'm imagining it shining through the aperture, the camera aperture, and and I'm imagining you smiling and in a joyful state. And that is what I kind of brought up, the religious aspect of things, because the power of prayer is about I would say the next level, the next evolution of prayer is about realizing that the mind thinks in terms of imagery. And so let's imagine people smiling instead of saying, oh, dear God, would you resolve this conflict I'm having with this person? Just imagine the person smiling. Imagine them happy and in a loving energy, and just imagine a beam of light beaming down. This works if you have issues at work, some type of conflict, maybe even the tools that you're using are there's a problem. Anything. Maybe you're feeling underpaid. Imagine brilliant beams just beaming to whoever or whatever it is of the issue. Imagine that light just shining through. Imagine this cap is, say, the computer you use, and maybe your computer, you wish you had a new computer. So just beam that light, and just imagine that light is just streaming through whatever the problem is. The person that you're upset at is smiling. This is not about that person. This is about what? It's about what's revolving in your own mind. Because if you don't capture those thoughts, if you don't manage them, then they will, as we know, what do thoughts do? It's programming. It attracts things. That's how things work in the material realm. The mind has these sort of there's unconscious stuff we do, habits, and that's why you want to have 100 habits that are good habits running. That's how you build. You have a habit of going to the gym 4 days a week, and you have a habit of wanting to save money. I like to save money and then buy government approved stamped metals with it, like silver and gold as well. And for me, I save it, and that's how I save it. I think people should at least have a base level. It should be an amount of money that they can easily use for a 6-month reserve. Hey, Lighthouse. Yeah, Lighthouse is on point. Man, you guys have to show up when I go live doing my street preaching, and that's a lot of fun. Actually, the last time I did it, the problem is I'm using a megaphone, and it's not that clear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a headset, and then connect it to a speaker, and then do like a puppet show, like a narrative. Right on, Lighthouse. And then I'm gonna do like like representative of me, and then the devil's advocate. Like one's gonna be like, "You're an idiot. Why would I stop labeling my father my father?" The devil's advocate puppet would say, and then me, the puppet that is representative of my ideas, I would say, like, well, you can actually have a more enriched relationship if you see each other as equals, if you see each other as brother and sister in a spiritual sense. You label each other on a first name basis. It eliminates, because if you're adults, guys, there's no need to have authorities in your life. You are your authority. and you're going to act better and more responsibly when you are your authority. You see what I mean? It's like when you find yourself, guys, in a state of knowingness of who you are and certainty, like these are my values. Like first of all, you like unless you know who you are and you kind of have your life scheduled, people are going to manipulate you. So let's get into that. Like identity, allow if you have a clear identity. Thanks, DJ. If you have a clear identity, then what happens is you can say no to people. Like if you know that, oh, I prefer this kind of music, and then somebody invites you somewhere, if you're like not really clear about your interests, then people are gonna say, hey, come over, come do this, and you're gonna say, oh, okay, and then you're not gonna have a good time because you don't know. So so the experimentation of that's the gray area. Like where do you need a safe place to experiment. For example, pornography. You shouldn't be experimenting with what type of men's or women's like body type you're attracted to. You should be able to look online and also look up how people are and their personalities, and you should be able to by that and by listening to other people who talk about relationships and marriage ideas. Like guys, in the information age, if you have a question, it's it's foolish to try to rely on your own intelligence alone to solve it. It's smart. The wise move is to type in the question, like, why is my coworkers being so rude, or how to deal with a rude coworker, or see, what I like to talk about is efficiency. I like to talk about what the most efficient path to marriage is. And when people hear that word marriage, they hesitate, or they feel defensive. Greetings, Reclips. Aloha. Clips, if there's any curiosities, like I talk about marriage, I talk about different things, but maybe once you hear what I'm saying, you could offer a counterpoint, and then we could kind of debate that. And this is an environment for debating, guys. This is an environment for honest conversation. Okay, so the thing about marriage is when people hear the word marriage, they're like, yeah, it's not been working. But the reason it hasn't been working is because people aren't preparing for it properly. Hey, Baba. When you prepare for marriage, you become like strong in who you are. It's a self-development, self-understanding, and that leads to self-love. So I talk about all that on shieldheart.org. These are patches I got. You put them on your heart, and it's actually a very courageous move to say, you know what? I'm gonna set boundaries. I'm gonna say no. Like people think it's not cool to protect yourself, and it's cool to seduce people and be seduced, and be with people. Give your bodies and your money to people who you don't care about. Like that's the great paradox, guys, of life, is that it's the prostitute paradox. It's that when you seduce somebody with your body or your money, which by the way, most relationships are, anything premarital intimacy, all this bullshit about boyfriend, girlfriends, half-hearted. Oh, we're engaged. Oh, we're gonna get married, next year. It's all nonsense. It's all reliant upon, if you're having sex prior to marriage, then that's the defining element of that connection. It's based upon physical. It's like taking a drug. It's like taking a a pills. Okay, Baba, take care. Be well. Uh, so, eh, but people, if they really care about each other, but Baba, I don't know if I'm gonna be. I won't be. Might not be streaming tomorrow, but I'm aiming to stream this Saturday, and I'm gonna be. It's like street preacher style. It should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. Whew. Uh, but let's see here. What's something's going on with the something going on with my network? Um, oh, I see. It just wasn't. Okay. All right. So I've said a lot. What what else can I say? This is kind of a preview. Oh yeah. Let me open up my notes here. Okay, let's see. So when people get married, you know, oh nice. Zuehetek Tamad, you must be Egyptian. Uh, all right, so Zwetik Zweti Ketan Mod. That sounds like it's African or definitely foreign, if that is your name. Okay, funny, 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 funny. Marriage makes you turn into a different person, and it's that preparation for marriage. It's that taking it to the level of seriousness. It's like it's like when you are going to marry someone, you what do? You vet them very carefully. Like, well, what's the trajectory of our lives going to look like? uh, what it's going to look like is based upon your values, and when you really know yourself and you're prepared for marriage, then it's like you're going to be much more selective about who you marry, and that act of who you would commit your life to, who you would be willing to share your finances with, have a child with, that is what defines who you are, it's what makes you selective. So that's why marriage is important. That's why legal marriage, and this whole thing about women wanting to not take their husband's name or hyphenate their name, like all that means is they, number one, would prefer to keep their father's name. And it's not about men being better than women. It's about men and women being equally strong but equally willing to play a role. And the man can play the masculine role of provider, and the woman can play the role of supporter and caretaker for the children, and food preparer. My name is John Remis, Baba. It's a pleasure to meet you. By the way, do you have a website? It's called shieldheart.org. Shieldheart.org. Thanks for tuning in. And so it's like when women want to keep their father's last name or hyphenate their name, it's also saying that they don't want their husband's last name. They don't want him to play the masculine man. And people might say, well, it's like their property. Well, what it is it's the man also risking that, okay, he's gonna give this woman everything. He's gonna risk her having his children and let her have because she's going to have the greatest influence on the children, at least in younger years. She's going to be teaching them. And so if the whole point of marriage is that the wife, okay, imbues the values of the husband's values into the children while the man's working. It's kind of, she makes the same food that he eats. She helps them to exercise and teaches them certain values, and also, yeah. Oh, cool. So you're Myanmar. That's let's just look up where Myanmar is. Where is Myanmar? Okay, cool. That's very cool. You're in Southeast Asia. What's it? It's right near north of Thailand. Cool. All right, so what struck you the most, Baba, of what I've been expressing? I'm curious. Do you live in a culture where the men and women kind of play gender roles? And what do you think of the man marrying the woman and taking her name, stuff like that? All right, so okay, I'm coming to Myanmar, Baba. I'm taking a flight. I'm gonna be traveling. I live in Hawaii. I'm gonna be shooting over. I'm gonna be taking a red eye late night flight. I'm gonna be shooting over. We're gonna be we're coming. We're coming to Myanmar. Okay. All right. So next, I want to talk about is bigger better, and we're talking about size of men's peepees or size of women's breasts. My simple answer is no, because life is supposed to revolve as adults. See, everything I say is predicated upon the average person in a heterosexual couple. So this is not to exclude other people, but it is a generalization which most people will and should adapt, in my view. And that is the idea that men shouldn't be excited about women's larger breasts because those are for babies, okay? And also, larger breasts interfere with back health. They interfere with the woman's psyche of that they're there, and that they kind of are this physiological burden that's like kind of can easily interfere with other conversation or other aspects of life. And it interferes with the woman's flower, the vagina. That's what life is all about in terms of what we should be celebrating. Like, as men, we shouldn't be like hoping to fetch compliments from women about our bodies, about our peepees. Men should be not like hoping a woman's going to give her a blowjob. Men should be oriented around, I'm the man, I'm going to direct my sexual attention and energy towards the woman in a way that is celebrating her body, specifically her flower, her vagina. And the thing is it doesn't matter about like penetrative intercourse. The thing is thank you, Baba. The thing is that has more to do with the man dominating the woman, and then ergo in other words, it focuses more on the man and his, pee and everything, when, and it like him getting off, and when it should really, and it's kind of an anxiety filled experience of like, oh yeah, we want to do it, and it's not a refined experience, just like a man giving oral sex to his wife. That is what gives us a sense of peace or a sense of direction, I think, as serious men. Some men are not serious. Some men just want to, have as big as a peepee as possible and just, you know, like dominate women and kind of want women to be like them just because of their peepee. When men should want a woman to, and that's actually entirely feminine for a man to be like trying to be like an object of affection of a woman. A woman is supposed to be a man's object of affection. A man's supposed to direct his sexual attention towards a woman. A woman is supposed to receive it. A woman, it's supposed to be about women, is what I'm saying. Okay? And men are supposed to do things like provide security for women, provide food and money for women. That's what makes a man a man. Right on, Baba. I see you're feeling what I'm saying. You're feeling it out. It's you've probably never heard this before, but to me, it's fucking precise and strong conclusions that I've. Oh, right now it's 11:35 at night, so it's almost midnight where I am. Almost midnight. I'm good. I finished. I go to a gym, so I finished up there, and I figured I would do a late night broadcast because I had some things to say, and I've been delayed. I neglected my friends who watch me, and I don't want fans. I want people who are like, you know what? I'm interested in Shieldheart. I want people who like me not because I come up with these ideas, but because they agree with the ideas and they make sense. And like, I like to do handyman work. I don't want to be some guru that people pay to talk. I only talk when I can afford it, when I have the spare time. My main source of income, and I want it to be, is I like to do work. I like to clean the audience. I like to clean wherever I live. I like things to be clean. I like to do massage therapy. I like to do, my primary source of income is handyman work. And I also like to do wallpapering. I like, it's fun to work on certain projects where it's a more expensive materials or like sophisticated, like I just finished. Do you know what ipe wood is, Baba? Do you know what ipe wood is? It's a hardwood, and they use it to make decks, and basically I just redid an ipe wood deck, and I sanded it down and restained it, and it just looks magnificent. And so yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this. I mean, I'm thankful for anyone who's still watching. So instead of, as a conclusion, when you should try to experiment in life. You should try to, oh nice, Baba. Experiment in life, like okay, the reason you need to experiment, and be careful when people say you need to do something, because that might mean they're trying to control you. Whenever somebody says do this, like come with me, they're not asking you if you want to come with them. When somebody says, "Here's a gift," and they hand it to you, that's forceful. That's not giving you a gift. It's imposing it upon you. It's 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 giving you a command statement. It's not asking you a question. So be careful. Even if your friends do that with you, that's a bad habit to let people just get in your space and do things that you don't say, you know, yeah, don't give you the opportunity to say yes or no to stuff. Okay. So that's experimenting. And there's something called familiarity bias. What that is when people they prefer the things that they're familiar with. So when people, you just look up, research that familiarity bias. Okay, and then that's experimentation, right? And then there's identity. Who do you identify as? Do you want? That's the same thing as saying is it about? It's about not about what you're doing, but it's about who you're with. Even if you're like let's say you can either go to a fancy party that someone invites you to, but who you socializing with. Here's something that, oh, nice, Baba, you're happy. When people, when people know what it is to work hard and know real hard work, they realize that their time is valuable, and then the time left that they have to spend, that they only want to share it with people who they really care about, who they when you socialize with someone in your personal life, it's like do they have the same values as you? Are you socializing with them just because you work with them, or just because they go to a same restaurant, or they have the same, maybe they have the same car as you, or maybe they can afford to go on a vacation? Does that mean that you should socialize with them? It's better to be alone. And when you're there's no such thing as being alone, because if you're with yourself, then that's not being alone. That's being with yourself. It's being present. It's like, let's say, doing a hobby you enjoy. Let's say you like reading. Do you feel alone when you're reading? No, because you're doing something that you enjoy. Do you feel alone when you're listening to your favorite music, or even dancing on the street alone? And I'm not discouraging socialization, but there's a way of socializing where we can express ourselves but be in the presence of others. We can be courteous, and then maybe if it opens up a conversation about, well, why are you like this? Well, you could say, it's because I have this certain religion, and then Baba likes cake. Baba, what? Cake? Come on, Baba. How do I respond to that? Well, first of all, have you considered veganism, Baba? The thing about when you are vegan, okay, the thing is eating dairy products and egg products and sugar and starch, it's going to slow you down. It might taste good, but try vegan stuff, and because all that hurt animals, the suffering, it might bring you, it it might be bad karma, for you. So if you've never heard that before, I don't know what, goes on in Myanmar. I don't know, what you guys talk about, but that's my thought there. So experiment, know what your identity is so you can say no to people. Don't, like, for example, another thing about identity is do not identify as somebody's child or son, because if you do, especially as a man needs to be his own person, otherwise he's going to be angry. If a man is not his own person, he's going to be irresponsible. Baba, come on. Are you a man, Baba? Do you like other men? Are you attracted to men? Is my question. Let's see. Okay, you caught me off guard, Baba. I'm gonna destroy Baba. You guys ready for this? Okay, we're gonna type in TI instrumental. Here we go. All right, Baba, you ready? It's going down. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, this is bullshit. Baba, just wait, please. All right, Baba. Yeah. Baba. Let me get an instrumental, please, Baba. Please, just wait. For Christ's fucking sake. Come on. Come on. All right, here we go. Wait, no. I can't. I need a more. Here, let's try this. Yeah, Baba. Baba dropping bombs, y'all up in that Myanmar. In that South Asian looking like a star. Shipping cocaine, yeah, he flying far. But I'm the CIA and I'm gonna stop it. I'm like the cops said. I'm dropping out of helicopters looking like I chopped it. Looking like a boss bitch. I'm about to get it exhausted. Yeah, I'm dropping bombs on it. Baba trying to sell drugs, but I can't condone it. He trying to get a lawyer pro bono because he can't afford it. He's starting off as a low-level drug dealer. He's trying to wheel and deal ya. He's trying to sell coke and influence society. Dominate things like he's a animal and he's on the jive, on the kingdom, on the kinda bee. But that's unsustainable. It's unreliably. He's trying to be Mr. King of the Hill. Looking like he jumping up for the thrills. Looking like he popping bills. But all I'm popping is 50 cals and it's gonna put a stop to this. Baba, I put a cap on it and I copped it. Yeah. Yeah, he's selling dope out the shop, but I'm about to drop bombs on it. Looking like a missile launcher, bitch, I'm on a bomb on it. You're gonna have to get more than a broom. I got bulldozers blowing bitch up in this room. Yeah, we understand this groove. Yeah, we understand this truth. There's no room for this hatred. There's no room for this blocking out the spaces. No room for drugs in this society because all it does is create hierarchies of good people, bad people, and they lying to me. They can't tell the truth. What they want drugs to be sold to the next of the youth. This is if there was the daughter or son, would they want to barter with them? Their parents selling the kids so they can get another hit and then end the life of them. It's a bad cycle. I'ma shoot Baba down with my fucking rifle. Yeah, we coming down and we stopping them like the Bible. This that endgame shit. This that bread game shit. But it's all about making money, doing good things. Yeah, true soldiers, heroes. We getting paid to fucking put an end to this arcade. Dope boys trying to play the fucking games, but Baba, you going up like champagne. Yeah, it's the end of the roller coaster, end of Disneyland. I'm about to fucking Costa Nostra, yeah. That's what we call making him a made man. But we're gonna incarcerate you and change up your game, man. Yeah, this is a motherfucking plague, man. Anybody out there trying to sell drugs and get tricks out of their underwear, well, that's all that bad shit. Yeah, I'm flipping the game on it. We're gonna start treating ourselves like people, treating ourselves like royalty, like we're regal. Baba dropping bombs, I be dropping beats, dropping them into the street, but they can't compete with this. All of my rhymes and logic and reason is gonna make them re-eat this. Sitting down and eating fucking cereal. Yeah, I'm about to turn you into cereal. I'm a serial killer, but I only kill the bad guys and ain't gonna get it. Yeah, boy. Come on, Baba. Live it. Live it, dude. Live that truth, man. We eliminate with that gangsta, you know, anti-bad guy thug action, boy. We're stopping that drug action. Because the trouble is, Baba is known for conspiracy, conspiring to ship and smuggle heavy drugs. Mapopo song. Okay, hold on. Let me get the Mapopo song. Wait. Mapopo song. All right, here we go. Mapopo. Wait. Mapopo. Here we go. Mapopo song. Is this the song, dude? Yes. We jamming anything I do for you. Let me give you my number. Jamming. Jamming. Living my life like this. No stress, no frets, just kisses. Blown into the sky. Blown into the humanity. Let them smile when they cry. We jam it to this night. Sunrise. Set the new vibe. Set that fire to the sky. Set the fire to the clouds. Let the nature speak to us. Let it be out loud. Let it be outdoors. Let us be connected like we are the stardust raining down on us, turning us into dust, but we turning back into that dust, into what it might be. And we ain't saying it politely, we saying it with that certainty. Mewemba bimba bimba. Ba 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 ba. Afla suticato with the pressure. Pressure. Let the rain fall in the sunshine. We call it a rain shower. We call it the new power. Self-evident, self-replicating. Yeah, we got this rhythm and it's repetiting. Just like the cycles of the moon and the sun and the jam. Ma po 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 Baba. Come on, Baba. All right, Baba. It's been an unexpected pleasure, but that's world that I live in. I spontaneously start a live stream and I meet somebody unexpected, you know? And let's call it a night. I hope to see you on my live stream on Saturday. You can always watch it, but follow up, you know? Like, what did I say that is like you said to yourself, all right, that's what I want. Like, sometimes you're welcome, Baba. Sometimes the only thing, okay, the only thing that really means anything is when we say to ourselves, no more. I will not tolerate this. Is it that you think you're worth, you know, charging more money? Then you at least experiment with, hey, you know, maybe I can charge more for my services, for my work. Oh, that's actually a song from Myanmar. Okay, so our Myanmar, here we go. What is the fuck, come on. What's the word? What's the demographic breakdown in Myanmar? What is the demographics of Myanmar? Okay, so there's about 60 million people living there. There are ethnic groups. There's a lot of Burman, almost 60% Burman. So what are the Burman? Burman are the Bamar people. They create most of. That's like the main people that live there. And what do they look like? I gotta fucking hold on. Images of Bamar people. So Bamar people kind of look like they have this kind of Asian look, kind of almost Filipino, almost Thai, almost yeah, they kind of have that look. They look almost Vietnamese, so they kind of look similar to those people, you know, in those countries. But all right, thank you, Baba, and let's call it a night. People can watch the stream, and then let's look forward to another stream in the near future. Thank you for tuning in. I'm about to shut it down, but yeah, take care, Baba. Okay, and aloha to all of you viewing, and please connect with me. Please, let's talk about these issues. Let's make the world a better place.